Welcome, everybody. My name is Carmen Iris, and I'm very happy to see you, all of you here. And I want to give you a welcome from on behalf of my friends Michelle, Shauna, and Jennifer. We're going to be presenting tonight the basics of essential oils, and you're going to fall in love with what we're going to be talking about today because this is a natural lifestyle that we enjoy, and we're going to share with you how we have been integrating natural plant-based products into our lives and how we have been able to switch and ditch some toxic products out of our house. So we're going to start with me and my story with Young Living. It started back in 2016 after I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition in 2015, and that was a wake-up call for me to take charge of my health and to seek for better alternatives to improve my lifestyle changes and step-by-step changes as well, because not everything did not happen at once. It was not magic. So after I got that diagnosis, I crossed and I met a friend, and she shared with me about Young Living. And my friend that shared with me is Michelle. She's here with us today. She's going to be talking with us, I think, at the end. So if it wasn't for a friend that shared with me, I wouldn't be able to enjoying about all the beautiful things and good products that Young Living has to offer. What changes I made? I started, the key was nutrition. For me, changing my lifestyle in nutrition, it was something that it was a kind of hard, because all my life I was used to eat whatever it was placed in front of me and without even knowing what I was eating. It was just, it tastes good, okay, it's going in. So for me it was very hard, because I needed to start learning about reading labels and also cooking more at home, and to be sure what I was eating. So I started lowering the intakes of red meats, let's say also to reduce the amount of gluten that I was eating, and also looking for alternatives of organic products and things like that. That helps me a lot within my body. I felt the change, that my body was feeling better, but I kept, said, oh, there must be better alternatives also with other things that I use daily. So when I was introduced to Young Living, I saw the variety of products that they have to offer. So I started, like, little by little changing all the products, of cleaning products, and also using their supplements. So they have been part of complementing my lifestyle and improving my health in a way that they just complement of what I started with my nutrition. So one of the essential oils that I'm going to talk to you are key essential oils that I use daily, and also during the winter season as well. So the first one is Lemon Vitality. Vitality, I'm going to show it to you right here. I don't know if you will be able to see it. So Lemon Vitality, I use this oil in water. So I drink water all day. So my body's always, I'm always thirsty. So a way for you to drink water all day and it tastes good is using lemon Vitality. So Lemon Vitality is like a gentle detox, and it's a cold, it's from the rind, which means there is no citric acid damage to your teeth or enamel. I don't know if we're still on the call recording. My went in blank my screen, but I'm gonna continue talking. So so these oils supports your detox organs and can also help the lemon vitality in your beverage, and when you use it and to drink it, always use glass, stainless steel or ceramic, because this oil is so potent that that it can eat the plastic if you use a cup or the um, or 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 the vase that you're using, it is plastic. It can go ahead and break down that plastic, and you don't want to ingest that. So always remember to use it on glass, stainless steel, or ceramic. All right. So let's see. The other oil that I'm going to be talking about is Raven. Raven is a powerful blend, and I like it because it has a lot of good oils in it. Um, let me see. I'm gonna pause for a moment because my screen is like going with a circle, and I don't see anybody, and I really don't know if I'm on the call or not.
I can see you, Carmen.
Okay, so I'm there. All right. So
You're here.
I don't see anybody. So
I still see you.
Okay, but that's good then. Do I look good?
You look beautiful. Keep going,
Okay.
girl.
All right. So the next one is Raven. As I say, Raven is a powerful blend that it has lemon, wintergreen, ravintsara, peppermint, and eucalyptus radiata. So each oil has something unique, but when it's together in the blend, it's so powerful. So like lemon prompts physical energy, and is a great to use over your lungs. Wintergreen contains a 99% methyl salicylate, and which makes it great to apply over your chest and your throat and also your joints. Ravintsara is really good when you because it's a cross between clove and nutmeg, and it's great for energy as well. And also the other two oils is peppermint, that is really good for soothing and is cooling, and the eucalyptus radiata, that it gives you like that spa feeling like experience. And you can use this oil, you can diffuse it, and also you can apply it topically and over those areas that I mentioned before. So it's really good to use it in your reflex points, like in your hands or the bottom of your feet. So it's so good to use, and I can now never run out of that oil during the winter season, and also when the weather changes. My body feels it, and I need to have it with me because of the winter green. Okay, and the third oil that I'm going to be talking about is my favorite oil. Is my go-to oil all year round, and I think this is the oil that I fell in love with everything because of this oil, and it's Thieves Vitality. Thieves Vitality is regularly used for immune support. And remember that I mentioned in my story that I was diagnosed with that autoimmune condition. So I need something that I learned was from my doctor was that it would be good for me to support my immune system. So that is what I've been doing, and all this since that time. So Thieves of Vitality is really good because it's a combination of lemon, rosemary, eucalyptus radiata, clove, and cinnamon bark. So it's a powerful blend for the immunity, and it works wonders. And it gives you you get an extra boost for immunity when you pair this oil with Ninja Red. And we're going to be talking about Ninja Red in a little bit. So these are the three go-to oils for me from the kit, and I will recommend this to you, and we can talk more at the end of the class. So I believe that who's going next? I can jump nowhere because I don't see nothing. Believe me, it's in blank, everything. The only thing that I see says recording.
believe that's me, but how do I share
Oh,
my
I
screen?
can
I can hear you,
hear
Jen.
you.
All right,
Yeah.
how do I share my screen? It says host disabled attend.
We see you. I can see
You
you.
see me? Okay, all
Mhm.
right. Okay. All right, so my name is Jen. I'm so glad you were able to join us tonight for this oils workshop. I'm so excited. There are so many people joining us. My story began probably it was 2011 when I started my wellness journey. I had gone to a chiropractor who was also a wellness coach, and started to realize just everything that I was doing was not right. So I actually started cutting out gluten and processed foods and sugar, just doing in moderation. And I could definitely see a change. I used to get terrible migraines and they started to dissipate, but the job that I was in was very stressful and I was chronically stressed. And then I ended up with some major hormone issues. And when I was living in Pennsylvania, then I had moved to Virginia, and I was introduced to essential oils. I wasn't Young Living at the time, but I had started using some, and I actually started to feel better. And then it was 2016, I was introduced to Young Living. I was actually invited to a party that Carmen was having and Michelle was hosting. So lo and behold, here I am. And I had started using some essential oils that were specific to hormones, and I immediately started feeling like so much better, like they've just been a godsend to me. And then I just little by little, I started trying some of the other products and some of the other oils, and it has just been an amazing journey that I've taken, and just all of the friends and the community, how very supportive it has been. And I'm so thankful for the oils. I could never be without them now. So, so a lot of you might be wondering, what are essential oils? Essential oils are the lifeblood of they're the lifeblood of the plant. They're the fluid that flows through the plant, and it it gives it nutrients, and it also protects it. And that's also what it does for us on a cellular level. And the oils are they're pulled from the plant through the stem, through steam distillation or cold pressed for rinds of the citrus oils. And it can come from the stem, the leaves, the roots, and the flowers of the plants. And the oils are greaseless and they're super concentrated. For example, it takes about 75 lemons to make one 15 milliliter bottle of lemon essential oil, which is pretty amazing. And the essential oils have been around for thousands of years. They're mentioned in the Bible over 1,000 times, and you can even find them on hieroglyphics on cave walls. And Egyptians actually have the first recipe for deodorant using essential oils, which is so cool. I never would have imagined that. That is just so amazing. So I just think that is so great. So I'm actually going to be talking about 3 different oils. And the first one is Peppermint Vitality, which I have right here. I don't know if you can see that. That is Peppermint Vitality. And that is one of my go-tos every day. I put it in my water. It is great for digestive support. It is also great for focus and concentration. It is also good for cooling. I actually have a DIY peppermint spray that I use, and actually have it right here. I made a bottle of that. And it's just 20 drops of peppermint oil, a tablespoon of witch hazel, and just fill the rest with just distilled water. And it's in a 4-ounce bottle, which those bottles you can get on Amazon, and they're pretty cheap. But yeah, I use peppermint quite a bit. And it's also great for flavoring foods. I make peppermint patties, which are like usually around the holidays, which are just so good. I just love those. And it's also good for tense muscles. But actually, like I said, I do use it in my water every day, and I also use it every night. I usually will put it in my diffuser, and I also use it to help my breathing at night. I'll usually put it on my my forehead, my temples, across the bridge of my nose, under my nostrils, and the back of my neck. With peppermint, you're going to want to dilute because it's a hot oil, considered a hot oil. But for me, I actually use it neat, which means just right from the bottle. But if you're going to dilute it, you're going to want to use the carrier oil, like coconut oil, olive oil, sweet almond oil. There's a whole bunch of oils out there that you can use. And it's also great if you have any hives or you've got a bug bite, you can just put a little bit of peppermint on there and it helps to soothe the itching. All right, and so the next one I'm going to talk about is Digize, which is also another one of my favorites. A lot of people don't like this one, but it is actually one of my favorites. It's got fennel, anise, ginger, tarragon, and peppermint. And I love anise and fennel, so I just love it. So I just put that in my water as well. I do a drop of that and I do a drop of peppermint because I do have digestive issues as well. So the peppermint and the Digize are my two staples every day. And if I know I'm going to be eating something that I shouldn't be, or if I have eaten something I shouldn't, then I will definitely have a little bit more support. I can rub it on my tummy or even on the bottoms of my feet. And then also people that don't like the taste of it or the smell of it, they will also do that. They'll put it on the bottoms of their feet or across their tummy, or you can also put it in a veggie capsule and ingest it that way. So, all right. And then the next one is frankincense. I love frankincense, another one of my favorites. That is right here. There's frankincense there. And that one is also great for skin support and emotional support or any anxiousness. I actually used a little bit of that today because I'm feeling a little anxious about this because this is a little out of my comfort zone, but it's all good. And it's also, like I said, it's great for the skin. I make a DIY facial serum and a cleanser using that and lavender, which is also another one of my favorites. And I think Shauna's going to be talking about that one. But it's also great for to put in the diffuser for meditation and to feel grounded, and also for spirituality. So that is also another great one. This is another one of my favorites. And then also in the kit is the Thieves Spray. There's the Thieves Spray. And that is just a great go-to. You can throw this right in your purse. It's great for cleaning small surfaces, like you'll say your desk, or light switches. Let's see, light switches, the kitchen, the bathroom sink, or door handles, which I know we've all been doing a lot of that lately. And it's naturally derived, plant-based ingredients. There are no chemicals in it, and it's also got Thieves essential oil, which Carmen had talked about earlier, and that is another great oil that I'm constantly using, especially these days. It's just definitely a staple. And then the last one is the hand purifier, the hand sanitizer, and this is also plant-derived and plant-based. And it's definitely a good all-natural alternative to the other hand sanitizers that are out there, because they've got chemicals and GMOs, and they really tend to dry your hands out. The Thieves hand sanitizer it eliminates 99.9% of germs and harmful bacteria, but it will also nourish your skin. I've noticed using it, and I've been using it a lot. My hands are still soft and supple, like they do not dry out. They're not cracked. I've just been loving it. So that's all I have. So I think Shauna is up next.
Wow, so many people. Thank y'all for coming. So Michelle's daughter and mine did gymnastics together, and so we spent hours sitting on the bleachers watching them. And she would mention, and I would see her using oils to help with different things. And we talked her husband and myself have some similar musculoskeletal issues, and she would let me know what worked for him. And it took probably 2.5 years of her talking to me for me to finally go to a class. But as soon as I went to a class, I signed up, and it's all been downhill since then. I mainly got started on them for my kids because, let's face it, we put our kids first, and I wanted them to be healthier. And I'm glad we've done it. I've now had a oily pregnancy, and I have an oily 17-month-old that we use oils with every day. She probably uses them more than the rest of us. But today we're going to talk about the 3 different ways that we can use the oils, and that's topically, aromatically, and internally as a dietary supplement. So the FDA has labeling rules for dietary supplements and cosmetics, and they prefer to see these as separate labels. Hence why we have our Vitality line, which is the white label. That's lavender Vitality versus the other one. They are the exact same oil, just in a separate bottle, so that you don't mix up which ones are actually able to be ingested and which ones cannot. So first we'll talk about how to apply the oils topically, known as transdermal. The most common way to use the essential oil is topically. You can apply it almost anywhere on your body, and they will rapidly be absorbed by the skin, which is not surprising since how the skin is the largest organ of the body. Applying oils to an area of the body where you need them, legs, shoulder. I use it on my back a lot. Your head, anywhere where you need them. Tummy, the digizen peppermint is a great one for the tummy. Applying the oils to the bottom of your feet. I do that on oils that I don't like to smell. I will put them on the bottom of my feet and then throw socks on, and I don't have to smell it. It's funny that if you are repelled by one of the oils, that actually means that your body needs it the most. So if I can't stand one, or if I need one that my husband doesn't like, I'll put it on the bottom of my feet. You can also bathe in the oils, which is something I do quite frequently, which are the reason that I'm talking about the next 3, because they're the ones that I use in the bath the most. The first one being the lavender. Everybody knows that it's good for sleep, but the good thing about lavender is it's actually the Swiss Army knife of all oils. If you don't know which oil to use, then use lavender. There's over 1,000 uses for lavender. This oil, along with peppermint and frankincense, are probably the 3 most versatile essential oils. And it's amazing for relaxation, sleep, helping the body adapt to stress, all things related to skin. A lot of people put it in their face serum and helping the body, lavender is the most adulterated of all essential oils. So a lot of times you'll hear people say, I can't stand the smell of lavender because it's not the pure lavender that they're smelling. And once they actually smell pure lavender, they change their tone. Like I said, I use it in the Epsom salt a lot. You can use it with the kids for an Epsom salt bath just before bed, or for yourself to unwind at the end of the day. Another good thing with the lavender, another use for it, is if your mascara gets thick and it's a little bit older, put a drop of lavender in your mascara and it will bring it back to life. And it's good for the eyelashes. I will put some other kind of recipes that I like to use in the comments once I'm done talking. The next one that I use way more than any other oil or in my bath is the Panaway. And the Panaway is a blend of peppermint, wintergreen, clove, and helichrysum. It's a powerful oil to apply to the areas with occasional discomfort or irritation. It contains powerful constituents like methyl, saccharate, menthol, and eugenol. I had to look up how to say that one. But typically the oil that makes the husband's the believer. In my case, that's the one that I used. I injured my back on my job and actually medically retired from it. So Panaway is one that is a go-to for me. You can dilute and apply topically after exercise or sports. So if your kids are in sports and they're complaining of sore muscles, I know my kids they have a roller that they have made and they'll keep that in their swim bag. Add it to an Epsom salt bath. You can dilute it and rub down if your child's having growing pains. That's a good one to use. And again, I have a muscle rub recipe that I'll put in the comments. The next one that I use a lot in my bath, and a lot of people will attest to this one, is Stress Away. This is a bonus oil, and it's one, I know we have one person on here that's sitting in traffic that's probably using it. If they're not, they're wishing they had it. It's one that just helps keep the edge off, and it's exactly what it says, Stress Away. You can bathe in it, throw it in your purse, keep it in your desk drawer, anything like that. Just very good one to have anywhere you go. It's a blend of 6 essential oils, which is cocoa, lime, oak tea, vanilla, and cedarwood and lavender. So all those are pretty powerful oils. You put them all together and it's just going to melt your stress away. You can diffuse it. My daughter likes to diffuse it with lime. It already has some of that in there, but she likes to add extra lime to it, and she diffuses it and puts it in her room. You can apply it to your wrist or your neck. And there's really, that one speaks for itself. There's not a whole lot else to say for that one. That's all I had. I think Michelle is going to go next. Is that right?
All right. Great job, girls. I hope everybody's getting some great information from this. And like I said, if you guys have questions, pop it in the chat for us and we're happy to answer. We have lots of us oily people on here tonight, not just those of us talking, so somebody can answer a question. But I will start off by sharing my story with Young Living. My family and I were having some health issues, and I know Ann can attest to this that's on the call with us because we were working together at the time, and I was having lots of issues with my allergies and asthma, and it was to the point that it was out of control. So if I wasn't missing work because of my health issues and trying to get that under control, then I was missing because my girls were always sick with either strep throat or ear infections or, something like that. It was nonstop. And so I have always been one looking more into more natural alternative, ways to support my body and support my wellness. And I had been researching essential oils for a while, and I looked at all the different companies that were available at the time. It's amazing how many more have popped up now, but we settled on Young Living, and I'm going to share why on that in a little bit. But I'm so glad that I did. And it turns out my neighbor at the time that I was looking, it's funny how when you start searching and putting something out there that, God puts it in your path for you. So my neighbor happened to be having a class. She had just signed up, and I was like, oh, perfect. Let me come to your class. So I signed up and got my kit. And one of the first things that we did was we started diffusing. So if you are just new with your oils, or they haven't come yet, or you just got your kit, whatever, first thing I'm gonna tell you to do is get that diffuser out of the box, plug it in, put your oils in the water in there, and start diffusing. That was a game changer for us. So even if you don't apply them topically, or you don't ingest the Vitality ones, even diffusing them can impact your entire household for health and emotions and everything else. But that's what we did. Another big part of our journey getting started was, when we started with the oils, it kind of took us down this whole path of changing the way that we do things in our house and getting chemicals out of our house. I had no clue the amount of chemicals that were in the candles I was diffusing, because let me tell you, no judgment here if you're using candles. I had candles in every room. I had the little plugins, the wax tart plugins in every room. I had, all the smell good stuff because I wanted the smell good stuff. Didn't realize that was contributing to a large part of all of our health issues we were having. So once we ditched the candles and other toxic products and we started diffusing and using our oils, it is amazing how much all of our health issues cleared up. I'm not saying that we don't have health stuff coming up from time to time, but I'm so glad that we have, our oily toolbox that we can pull out and use. yeah, total game changers for us. And, you know, it was about a year after we had been using the oils that all of a sudden one day it just hit me. And I was like, oh my gosh. I told my husband, I was like, the girls haven't had an ear infection. They haven't had strep throat. I haven't had to call in sick to work because of them. My allergies are under control now. I mean, you know, but my key point in that is I use my oils. And as you can tell by some of the ones I share, they saw me using them all the time. I carry them with me. I used it all day at work. Like my ones that I, you know, my lavender, lemon, and peppermint was one of my favorite first ones. But yeah, just using them all the time. So they've just been a complete game changer for us and how we do health and wellness in our house. And I think everybody in the world needs them in every single home in the world. I wish I had them when my kids were younger, because I honestly, in my heart, believe that their stories, you know, of always being sick, I think it would have been totally different. I don't know for sure, but as they say, once you know better, you can do better. So now that we know better and we know about what's in the products that, you know, come into our house, I'm choosing to be the gatekeeper of my home and what goes in my home for my family and on their skin and, you know, all that other good stuff. So that's a little bit of my tangent. I could go on for days and days and days, but I'm not going to since we're limited on time here. But I did mention that, you know, I had done a lot of research. And so why did I choose Young Living? Why Young Living of all the companies out there? For me, it was just their practices. And Young Living has what we call a seed to seal guarantee. So what that means is that, you know, we have complete control of everything from the ground that our seeds are planted in, from the, you know, the seeds that are planted. Young Living is all about doing sustainable farming practices, which I love. Everything from distilling. So, you know, how the plants are harvested, when they're distilled specifically, the temperature at which each plant is distilled, or cold pressed, or any, you know, that information if it's a citrus, and testing. So we do a lot of our own in-house testing, and it has to pass all the tests. Our oils have to show all the therapeutic constituents that that specific oil is supposed to have. It can't show any pesticides, any synthetic, nothing of that can show up, because if it does, guess what happens? It gets tossed out. It does not make it into your bottle and into your home, which is great. That gives me a lot of reassurance for my family, you know, because I'm using it on them, my kids, my pets, they're oily pets. So if everything passed our testing, then it goes out for outside testing by a third party. It's got to pass all their testing too before it ever gets bottled and makes it to your home. So for me, that seed to seal practice was huge. Nobody else offered that. And I love that they were so transparent. I can go and visit the farms. You can go and visit the farms. Anybody can go and visit the farms. And I've actually been to our farm in Mona, Utah 3 times now, twice with convention and once at Silver Retreat. And it's just amazing. The energy there is great. I love that I can talk to the farmers. I can talk to the guys in the distillery. I can talk to the scientist. They're just very transparent. And for me, that is huge. So I can use these oils with my family with 100%, you know, percent assurity that I'm getting exactly what's in that bottle and what it says is in that bottle. Because in case you didn't know this, an oil only has to have, a bottle only has to have 5% oil in it for a company to label it 100% pure. So if you see a bottle of oil that says 100% pure at your gas station, I pretty much guarantee you it's probably not. So just do your research and check all that out. You can even go to seedtoseal.com if somebody wants to type that in the comments for us, and you can get tons more information. They'll explain it much better than I probably did. But just so you know, that's out there, and that's why we chose Young Living for our family. So next, I'm going to go into the 3 oils that are some of my favorites, and I'll tell you why. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Citrus Fresh. This one is a blend of several different citrus oils and spearmint. So it's a very refreshing smell. It's very happy. It's very uplifting. You can see that it also comes in a vitality label. So because it comes in a vitality label, you know it's one that you can ingest. So you can put it in, you know, your water. It's great to help you drink more water. The citrus, regular citrus, is Citrus Fresh is also amazing in the diffuser and helps with stinky smells. So it's another good one to keep on hand. Okay, my next one that I'm going to talk about is Valor. So this one was actually in the kit when I got my kit over 5 years ago, and I was so happy about it. I really didn't know much about it, but it was one that I started using all the time, and it did wonders for my anxiousness. So it's one that I always keep on hand. It is also one that went out of stock because our blue tansy crop was not, we didn't get what we thought one year. So we had this one and Peace and Calming and a few others that went completely out of stock. And you guys, I was panicking because this is one that I use religiously. And so we are so blessed that, you know, it's back and that we get to use it. And speaking of out of stock, that kind of like also brings up another point. I know it can get frustrating sometimes if you go to get an oil, and you realize it's out of stock and you're like, oh man, I really wanted that one. But you know what's so good about that though, and what gives me assurance is if, you know, when the crop is done and if we don't have enough to go out, it doesn't get bottled, it doesn't come out. They're not going to stretch it by putting a synthetic or something else in it to stretch it just to sell it to make a, you know, make a buck. They're all about making products for a purpose, not for profit. So I love that. So I was really sad the year and a half that it was gone, but I'm super, super happy that it's back. So if you have Valor, it's one that I suggest you use. I love to apply it on the back of my neck. I love it in my diffuser. I actually have it going in my diffuser right now with bergamot and Northern Lights Black Spruce, and it smells divine. So get you some Valor. And we're so lucky that it's in the starter kit again. So yay for Valor. And it's also courage. So if you get nervous speaking or for kids before performing for anything, it's great for courage. And it's one that I apply down my spine after I get a chiropractic adjustment, because it's also been called chiropractor in a bottle. So just another little tip for you. All right, and my last one that I'm going to talk about is Peace and Calming. Okay, this one's kind of like stress away. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. It's peace and calming. So it's just very relaxing, very grounding. I will use it and layer it on top of Valor sometimes if I'm just having a day when I'm just really stressed out and I can't just, you know, calm down enough, or if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'll do my Valor. I'll put Peace and Calming on too. It smells really good. It's got some citrusy oils in it too. It's just very relaxing. So it's another one that I'll do on the back of my neck. I'll also apply it on my chest. It's amazing in the diffuser also for sleep. One of my favorite sleep combos is to do Peace and Calming, lavender, and cedarwood. So cedarwood's not in the kit, but if you don't have that one, it's one you definitely need to add to your next order because it is great. And I see some questions going on in the comments about pets, about cats. I just caught the cat thing for a minute. So I'm just going to scroll here real quick. So yeah, Steph, I have 2 ragdoll cats, and they have been oily kitties since they came to my house. I have one that's 3 years old. I don't know where they are. They must be downstairs sleeping because usually they're like all up in here when I'm teaching a class. They're worse than the kids. But yeah, so usually Oliver's 3 years old and Winston's a year old. And my biggest thing with that is it's the quality of the oil that you're using. So I don't hesitate to diffuse anything in my diffuser around my cats. If I want to diffuse it, I'm diffusing it, but I never close them in a room with the oil. So I always give in, even my dog too. We have an Australian Shepherd. They always have the option to leave the room if they don't want to be in it. But guess where I find them? In the room with the diffuser. My cats actually love sitting by the diffuser. I have one I have to like shoo off the counter away from my face cream because he wants to eat it. I guess he likes frankincense and lavender. I don't know. But yeah, but there is an animal desk reference. And that was something that I got when I first started using oils, just because I wanted to, you know, for my own peace of mind to be comfortable using them around my pets. So if you do have pets, I highly recommend that book. It's fabulous. You can get it at Life Science Publishing as well. But so I think we have covered all of the oils in the kit. So I don't know if you have any other questions. And if I missed something in the comments, you guys please speak up and let me know, because I definitely want to make sure that we address all the questions. But I want to thank you all for coming on and joining us tonight. You could have been anywhere else and you chose to come on and, you know, spend some time with us. So thank you. We are so honored that you chose to do that. If you are new here and you don't have a kit yet, we recommend that you go back to the person who invited you to this class because they loved you and cared enough about you to invite you to this to learn more. So definitely go back to them and they will get you started and help you get your oils and get going on this little oily journey. And one of the best things about it too is you get plugged into our groups. So when you're a member of any of our oily teams, you'll get plugged into our Facebook groups. And yeah, it's wonderful. We have so much information in there, so many resources. We're actually doing a spa night tomorrow night. So make sure you guys get in on the spa night. If you need the link, let us know. We'll get you hooked up. So we're going to just do fun stuff. Yeah, we have a great community. So that's a big part of it too. That community is huge. This oily journey has given me a whole community of women and men in my life, people that I didn't even know I needed. So it's been such a blessing for me. So yeah, so go back to the person who invited you. If you don't have a kit yet, we'll help you get started. If you have a friend that you think needs to see this, we're happy to share the recording with you so you can send it out to them. When you do sign up, I also want to mention Essential Rewards. It is something that is a privilege for you or for us as a Young Living member. So if you're not on Essential Rewards, it is something to consider. It has saved us so much money I've been on it for, I don't know, maybe I would say almost 5 years because I didn't do it right away, which was kind of dumb. And after I had placed several big orders, my friend was like, why are you not signed up for Essential Rewards? And I'm like, I don't know, because I just didn't think I would order every month. So what I did is I signed up and I ordered a little bit each month and we made small changes, switching out products in our home to get our home toxin free. And in the process of doing that, we were spending less money at Target, less money at Walmart, because we weren't having to go to those places to buy things we were using in our home, like shampoo and conditioner and soap and face wash and now makeup and, you know, all that other fun stuff. Plus Essential Rewards, like I know when I go to Target, they only give me 5% off. When I shop with my Essential Rewards, or we also call it our monthly wellness box with Young Living, I'm now, because I've been on it for so long, I'm earning 25% back. So I'm getting 25% back that I can then turn around and use and cash in more points. And actually, I just got my order today for, I think I cashed in almost 200 points to get more stuff that we need to use in our home. So it was great. It's freebies, guys. Then you can get some of the promos too. They have special promos just for Essential Rewards. So I want to throw that out there because I know when I first started, it was not something we were, you know, like mentioning regularly, but it's amazing and give it a try. You've had nothing to lose. You can cancel it at any time if you don't like it, but it's a privilege that you get to have and you get better shipping deals and all that other fun stuff. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And again, thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't saved the chat yet, don't forget to do that. If you saw something in there or recipes, I know Shauna was posting some great recipes. So make sure that you save that chat so you can have those recipes for later. And, or if you're not on a computer, go through and do some screenshots real quick. So you can get access. Yeah.
There was a question about somebody in their family is allergic to trees, and so they're wondering if they could still use the oils. Could you address that real quick so everybody could hear?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I'm a good, I guess, guinea pig for that question because I'm one of those. I'm allergic to everything that blooms outside, all the trees, all the grasses, all the stuff, all the things that bloom that are pretty. However, I use pine, I use cedarwood, I use all the oils, all the flower oils, and I have been fine with those. And I did some research on it because those were concerns of mine too when I started. I had allergies, I had asthma. So of course, you know, I looked it all up. But one thing that I learned, and I believe it was I think it was Dr. Jim Bob Hagerton. If you guys aren't following him, he's awesome to follow. He's actually a chiropractor that also has a Young Living business, but he does tons of education. Dr. Lindsay Elmore is another one too that I also follow because she is a chemical pharmacist by trade, but also does tons of education on Young Living products and, you know, all this kinds of stuff. So I had done research with both of them. And the big thing with that is that I learned is that when our essential oils go through the distillation process, the proteins that cause allergic reactions in us are actually gone after a part of that, you know, that process. So I don't know if that helps with anything or not. Doesn't mean you can't react to something, but typically from what I have, you know, learned is when you have a reaction, it's typically a detox reaction that's happening. Or even on an emotional level too, because these oils can get so deep. I mean, like, you know, how they address your emotions, it's amazing. Like I have used them to help me through grief when my mom died. Doesn't make it go away, but it let me function. And I use them all the time for emotions, like all the time, especially right now with everybody home. It's fun when you're home with 2 teenage girls, all the oils. So I don't know, hopefully that helped you guys, answer their questions. Are there any more? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
I think there was one about who the 2 doctors were. If you could write that in the chat. I wrote 2, but if you have,
Yeah,
like,
you got
their whole
them.
name.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So Haggerton is Dr. Jim Bob's last name, Jim Bob Haggerton. And you can find them both on Instagram and on Facebook. And I think they even have their own sites too now.
They're amazing, really good speakers, a lot of information, and I love watching them. And it's amazing, all the information that they give to everybody. Yeah, you should Google them and find them on YouTube.
All right. If there are no other questions, then we'll sign off. And again, I hope you guys are all having a good night and everybody's staying healthy and well. And thanks again for joining us.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks for
Good
joining
night.
us. Night.